Now that we've talked about how to first set up your Google slide presentation and to get those slides set, your theme, and talked about how to do the layout of each slide, now let's talk about each slide individually and what we can do in these different boxes. It says click to add a title here, click to add text here. Now this is a layout that I can choose, and there's many that I can do. I can do here, pick this one and just add some text down here, and then I have an open place that I can do some work. Okay, if I want to change the layout to just be blank, then there are several things that I can do. I can go to my insert key tab at the top, and I can insert an image. I can insert a text box. You can insert a video like I do for my classes. We do not have camera capability on these computers, but that is an option. You can insert a shape, a table, and tell it what dimensions you want it to be, a chart, a diagram, a word art, and even a different type of line. Okay? Now, let's say that I wanted to do just a text box. So I can click on that, or right here's text box. Here's also inserting an image from different places. From the computer, searching the web. Here are the shapes, here are the lines, and then if you see that arrow, remember we always click on that to see, because there's always other things that we can choose from. So I'm going to insert a text box, I'm going to click on that, and then click on my slide. And see, it puts that box in there. Okay? So I'm going to say key leader in history. We do a lot of that in 4th and 5th grade of researching key leaders in history. And so I'm going to make that like a header. So I'm going to highlight or select that text, and then I can change it here. I'm going to make it pretty big. Now, as you can see, that doesn't fit inside that box. Now, for some things that might not matter, okay? It just depends on how much you're going to put on the slide. But I can also click these and stretch them. And, you know, we talked about in the Google Docs how that you want to adjust from the corners. Well, in these text boxes, it's not as important. You can stretch from the tops, bottom, and sides or corners. And it doesn't really distort it. So I have this box. I can center that on my page by looking. You can look at the numbers here. It kind of does some lines and arrows, just kind of showing you where it's lined up. So if I want to center that, I can. Then inside the box, the text that is there, if I select that text, then I can come here to the align, and I can center that up and down in the middle. And I can also center that side to side. Okay, so I can put that in the center. Now, if I click away from that, you can see that the lines go away. Now, if I want to put a border around that, okay, if I want to, I can click on Format Options, okay, and I can do Size and Position. I can do Text Fitting. A drop shadow if I want to make a shadow. As you can see here, kind of made a little shadow effect. Whoops. Kind of gray looking. Okay. So those are some different format options that you can play around with as well. So if I click on this again, then I can also put a border around this. Okay. Now what that would look like is I can click this. It says border weight. So I can click that, and I can decide how thick I want to put a line around that. So since that's going to be like a title on that side, I'm going to put 24. Pretty thick there. Okay. And if I don't like the way that looks, all I have to do is come back up here and change it. So we'll make it about 16. Now another really cool thing that I can do is I can change that border color. So I can click here and choose a color that I like. Okay, so my key leader in history, and then I can go and let's do insert word art. So if I click word art, I can use Enter to save or use Shift and Enter for multiple lines. Okay, so I'm just going to pretend that I am studying about and my key leader is Thomas Jefferson. Okay, and then I push Enter. And there is my word art that I can then manipulate. Okay, and I can change that font, and let's make it be that font there. I don't really want that to be bigger though than my title. Okay, my title section up there. So I am going to change the size. Let's leave it that, and then I'm going to shrink it down. Now, the difference with your word art is that if I change the size of this box, my text changes with it. If I change the size of this box, it does not. It will still move it and center it, but it does not change the size of my text. Okay, and it will here. So I can move that around. I can make that a little bit smaller. I can move it this way. And anything I do with the word art box is going to change the size of that font. Again, I can click on that and I can put a border around it. And this time I'm going to do a lighter color blue. Oh, maybe it won't. Let's see. Okay, for some reason that one is disappearing, but I think there is a way to get it to stay, so I'll have to figure that out and come back and let you guys know. Now you can do a border dash. You could do that actually for the word art, actually dashes the dots around it. Okay, so just some different ideas and things that you could do, but I'm going to leave it solid. Okay, and I think what it did on the word art is it outlines the actual letters because it's word art, not necessarily with a frame around it or an outline. So see the difference? You can see that light blue there. That's what it is. I knew this one is a little different than PowerPoint, which is a Microsoft product, and I haven't used this one as much, so that is the difference there. All right, so let's insert a shape. Let's do an arrow, and I like this one. So I've selected what I want, but as you can see, it didn't show up, so I have to click on here, and then there it will show up. Now, if I click on this, I can rotate that, so I can be like Thomas Jefferson. Now, a really cool thing that I can do is I can actually insert a text box on this and make it smaller. And inside this, I can put key leader and shrink this box down and actually turn this and put it on top of this particular arrow. Now, can't see that very well, so I can come in here and select that text. Oops. Let's undo that. Click back, select the text, and I can change it to, let's make it like a really light, almost white. And there it says key leader. If I want it exactly straight, I can do that a little bit more. I can make this bigger. I can make my arrow bigger. I can make my words bigger, however I want to do that. So those are just some different things that you can do with text, with shapes. Let's look at the lines. Let's do a scribble. So I can put a scribble line on here. Okay. And I'm not sure how that one actually works. Let's do a curve. Okay. Oh, we can curve it around. Okay. That's pretty cool. So you can just click that and drag it, and then we'll... Okay. And get, oh, and then when I double click it, it turns off. Okay, so if I don't like that, I can just simply click on it and either right click and click delete, or I can hit my delete key on my computer. So I click that and click delete, or click this. So play around with these. I mean, there's lots of things that I'm not sure how they even work on Google Docs or Google Slides, because I haven't used it as much as I have PowerPoint. So it'll just be a fun thing for you guys to kind of click around on and see how to do. So another polyline. Okay. So just different things that it will do. And play around with that and see if you like it.